The soda can hit the pavement with a dull thud, splashing sticky liquid across the tomb guard's polished boots. The crowded Arlington froze, their gasps cutting through the summer heat. Tyler Grayson, a 13-year-old in designer sneakers, grinned, his phone already recording for the perfect viral clip. He expected laughs, like maybe a flinch from the stone-faced soldier. But Ethan Caldwell, the tomb guard, didn't move. His eyes hidden behind sunglasses burned with a fury no one saw coming. In that moment, a single act of disrespect was about to spark a firestorm that would change a boy, a family, and a nation's understanding of honor. What Tyler didn't know, what no one in that crowd could have guessed, was that the man he mocked carried the weight of a fallen brother. And the tomb he guarded held secrets that would soon unravel everything. Before we dive into this story, where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments. And if you believe that values like honor, courage, and sacrifice still matter, join us in keeping their legacy alive. It was Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery. The sun blazing down on a sea of visitors gathered around the tomb of the unknown soldier. The air was thick with heat and reverence, the kind of quiet that settles over a crowd when something sacred is about to happen. Families, veterans, and tourists stood shoulder to shoulder, their eyes fixed on the lone sentinel, pacing with mechanical precision. His navy blue uniform was crisp, his kepi hat sat low, and his sunglasses hid any hint of emotion. Every step, every turn, every click of his heels echoed with purpose. This was Ethan Caldwell, a 28-year-old tomb guard, a member of the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, and a man who carried the weight of honor on his shoulders. Among the crowd was the Grayson family from California. Jonathan Grayson, a tech CEO, was dressed in a tailored suit, his eyes glued to his phone as he fired off emails. His wife, Lauren, found herself with the cemetery map, her designer sunglasses perched on her nose. Between them stood their 13-year-old son, Tyler, his blonde hair gelled to perfection, his outfit screaming money. Limited edition sneakers, a custom t-shirt, and a shiny new phone dangling from his hand. Tyler wasn't here for the ceremony. He was here because his parents thought a trip to DC would look good on their social media. But to Tyler, this was just another boring stop on a vacation he didn't want. "This is so lame," Tyler muttered, loud enough for nearby tourists to glance over. "Why are we standing here watching some guy walk back and forth? It's like 100 degrees out here." Lawrence sighed, barely looking up. "Tyler, honey, just try to enjoy it. This is important." "Important?" Tyler scoffed, scrolling through his phone. "It's just some old tomb. I bet this guy's just a wannabe soldier playing dress up." Jonathan didn't even look up from his screen. "Let him complain, Lauren. He'll get over it." The crowd hushed as Ethan completed his 21 steps, turned and faced the tomb. His movements were flawless, a living tribute to the unknown soldiers who gave everything. Ethan had earned this post through years of grueling training, driven by the memory of his older brother, Michael, who never came home from Afghanistan. Every step he took was for Michael, for the fallen, for the country. But Tyler didn't see that. All he saw was a chance to go viral. "I'm going to get a sick video of this guy," Tyler said, raising his phone. "Bet I can make him flinch." He started recording, narrating loudly. "Yo, check out this robot soldier. Bet he's sweating buckets under that hat." A few tourists shot Tyler dirty looks, but he didn't care. He was used to getting attention, used to his parents smoothing over any trouble he caused. Back home, teachers let him slide, and his friends worshipped his family's wealth. To Tyler, the world was his playground, and rules didn't apply. As Ethan turned for another pass, Tyler's boredom turned to mischief. He spotted a half-empty soda can in his hand, a leftover from lunch. A grin spread across his face. "Yo, this is going to be epic," he whispered to himself. He stepped closer to the rope barrier, ignoring the signs that read, "Stay back." The crowd murmured, sensing trouble, but Jonathan and Lauren were too distracted to notice. With a quick flick of his wrist, Tyler tossed the soda can. It hit the ground near Ethan, splashing sticky liquid across his polished boots. The crowd gasped, a collective intake of breath that broke the silence. Ethan didn't flinch. His face remained stone, his steps unbroken, but his jaw tightened ever so slightly. Years of combat, years of discipline held him steady. He faced worse than a spoiled kid. Enemy fire, roadside bombs, the loss of his brother. But this was a different kind of insult. Tyler laughed louder now, egged on by the crowd's reaction. Yo, he didn't even blink. This guy's a total statue. He raised his phone again, zooming in on Ethan's boots. Check out the mess I made. This is going viral. An elderly man in the crowd, wearing a Vietnam veteran cap, leaned toward his wife. That kid's got no respect, he muttered. Someone needs to teach him a lesson. Tyler, oblivious, kept going. He stepped right up to the rope, leaning over it. Hey, soldier boy, you're gonna clean that up or what? You can't even talk. He turned to the crowd, expecting laughs, but all he got were glares. A mother pulled her kids closer, shielding them from the scene. A group of teenagers whispered, shaking their heads. Jonathan finally looked up from his phone. Tyler, what are you doing? Get back here. Relax, Dad, Tyler said, waving him off. I'm just having fun. These guys are paid to stand there, right? They work for us. The words hung in the air, heavy and wrong. Ethan's eyes, hidden behind his sunglasses, locked on to Tyler for a split second. He'd heard worse insults in war zones, but this kid's arrogance cut deep. The tomb of the unknown soldier wasn't just a monument. It was a shrine to sacrifice, to men and women who gave their lives without ever knowing fame or fortune. And here was this kid treating it like a TikTok backdrop. Tyler, undeterred, pulled out his phone again. Time for the money shot, he said, stepping over the rope. The crowd erupted in murmurs, phones coming out to record. Tyler strutted toward Ethan, holding his phone high for a selfie. Yo, me and the statue guy. This is going to get 1 million likes. That was the line. Ethan's training screamed at him to stay still, to ignore the provocation. But something snapped. This wasn't just about him. It was about Michael, about every soldier who never came home. In one fluid motion, faster than anyone expected, Ethan stepped forward, snatched the phone from Tyler's hand, and dropped it onto the pavement. The crack of the screen echoed like a gunshot. The crowd froze. Tyler's jaw dropped, his eyes wide with shock. You broke my phone, he screamed. That's a $2,000 phone. You're going to pay for that. Ethan returned to his post, his face unreadable, his posture perfect. But the air had changed. The crowd buzzed with whispers, some cheering quietly, others stunned. Security guards, led by Inspector Laura Bennett, pushed through the crowd. Laura, a nonsense officer with 15 years at Arlington, spoke into her radio. We've got a situation at the tomb. Kid crossed the line, and the sentinel responded. Jonathan stormed forward, his face red. This is outrageous. That soldier assaulted my son. I'm calling my lawyer. Do you know who I am? Laura raised a hand, her voice calm but firm. Sir, your son threw a soda can at a tomb guard and crossed a restricted barrier. That's assault and trespassing on federal property. You're lucky the sentinel didn't do more. He's a kid, Lauren shrieked, clutching her purse. You can't treat him like a criminal. Ma'am, Laura said, age doesn't excuse his actions.